the Bitcoin Roadshow. Guess where I am today? Ah, give up? No. This is Mallorca. Palma de Mallorca. The thing I love about Europe is women don't mind getting their tits out. It's fantastic. It's good being back at this end of the world. I'm from here. I mean, from Europe, not from Spain. Well, I've got a bit of Spanish in me. Who gives a fuck? I know you don't. But what you might give a fuck about, this being the Bitcoin Roadshow and all, are soothsayers, people that proclaim to know the future when none of us do. Like, the action that happens on Bitcoin happens, one, it's an organic growth, which can be predicted to, in a small degree, but generally can't, because there's market forces at work that you cannot guess what they might do, and you cannot guess how they might manipulate, and that manipulation gets more and more and more as time goes on, as the market, let's say the rulers of the previous market start to gain more Bitcoin and other coins, then they have the power to manipulate the market more. So Mike Novogratz, for example, his predictions on and calls on what a bubble is and the bubble's burst are just so fucking dumb. From smart people saying dumb things, you know what I mean? It fucking annoys me, because you should know better. Don't be a retard. You are meant to be a smart guy. Anyway, so I was looking at another YouTuber. He's actually a South African economist called, what's his name again? The Crypto Sniper. His name is, I can't remember his name, but anyway, Julius, no, it's not coming to me. No, it's not coming to me. But anyway, he had a video on, look him up, Crypto Sniper. He was saying something that was quite obvious actually. He was looking at the upward trends between up to about 4,000, then it comes down again, then how it went up to 6, and then it went down again. This is on the original growth to $20,000 last year, or 19,000 something last year. And he pointed out something that was quite fucking blindingly obvious. You could have called any of those rallies where it pulls back again, or a pullback or a correction. You could have called any one of those a bubble bursting or a crash. The only reason we did it is this one lasted a little bit longer, and as he rightfully said, it's almost, when I look at people like Mike Novogratz, but also it can be your small trader or your big time trader, it's almost like they're getting frustrated with Bitcoin. Oh no, when I left Bitcoin because I left the cryptocurrency, no, it's going down, it's going nowhere. I spoke to an investor in our company the other day, and his view of cryptocurrency said it all. It was kind of, it's not misguided as his own fault, it's misguided because he's hearing other wealthy people around him. He's a very wealthy guy, and he's hearing people around him saying certain things, and then it gets to a stage you start to echo it, because you think, oh, it must be right because they're all saying it, I'll say it too. And that's how this misinformation gets fed. Now for me, it's not like a case of I'm die-hard Bitcoin, I won't let go of it. Even when there's blood in the streets and the whole thing has crashed, I'm going to be sitting there holding on to my worthless coin. It's not like that. I diversify anyway, and everything I have cost me nothing, because I made gains that I put back into Bitcoin. I also sold out and I sold back into it again. So Bitcoin will have never cost me anything. But I'm thinking more about the market that I want in the future. I'm thinking the fact that I've said in many videos before, we're not going to move back in time. We're not going to wake up one day and say this fiat currency we have is a better idea than blockchain technology. It just won't happen. What could happen is we could have governments restraining the use of it, but then people will still want to use it to get around those controls. So it's going to pop back up again. If it took, let's say for example, all the corporate forces joined hands and decided they'll, even through the next 2 recessions, they'll sit there and they'll make sure that this gets manipulated the same way that gold does. It doesn't matter, because it's still going to be worth something one day. It's still going to go up, and I'm happy to be a long-term holder. I'm happy to have patience. The problem is, a lot of these trader types don't have patience. They almost get upset like a crying child because the market's not going their way. It's like, it hasn't gone my way. I'm leaving your game now. Just leave then. Fuck off. You know. I mean, the thing is, they're in it for the wrong reasons anyway. If you're in crypto because you want to make quick gains, I didn't get into crypto because of quick gains. I got into it because it was the fuck off, please. Sorry, I just get hate when people bug you on the beach and shit to buy shit that you don't want. Anyway. So anyway, yeah, my point is that I think that, is it Marcus? No, it's not his name. The guy from Crypto Sniper anyway had a very, very good point. Please check his videos out. He's actually one of the better YouTubers online. As far as technical analysis is concerned, him and Alessio Rassani, I think his name is, Alessio Rassani. They're probably the best two technical analysts on there. But yeah, I think Crypto Sniper overall gives good information. Looks at the market overall. Looks at the fact that it looks outside technical analysis, not just within it. But probably a little bit more than some of the ones I like the most. Like they call me Dan. He's not on YouTube anymore, but check his channel out. He's actually on D.Tube. I'm leaving YouTube as well when I can work out how to take a video like this and make it post. Let's say, for example, take me only 3 times as long to get up onto D.Tube instead of fail, and then me crunching it up into a smaller configuration and getting it to upload. Until that happens, I'll be doing YouTube and then occasionally copying a video across to D.Tube, and only doing that as a tester to see can I get this shit to work without being a pain in the ass and eating my whole day up, because it's not worth the time to me. I mean, I don't monetize anything I do, and then I'm not maybe teaching that much either. I'm just actually having fun talking, because it's either that or, you know, talk to myself. Oh, wait a minute, I'm doing that right now. Fuck, damn it. Oh well. Anyway, have a look around. This is Mallorca, Palma de Mallorca. So, guy on one of the other companies I work for, which is Pryvate. Oh, let's see, I contribute. I don't really work for anyone, I contribute. I stopped working last year and I got asked to join 2 companies as advisory or strategic roles, so I've done that. And well, I remember years ago when I went to Australia and I'd kind of semi-retired when I was 24, and I fucked up big time, as you do in life. And it was really easy to spunk through hundreds of thousands of dollars and have nothing to show for it. Oh my god, look at the fucking rack on this woman here. That is insane. Anyway, I was like watching a woman clean sand out there. Doesn't matter. I'm a filthy bastard. Not really. Anyway, getting back to the story. Yeah, easy to spunk through money when you just had savings. And even if you made a small income, let's say for example the income was 20 grand a year. Let's say if I didn't have that 20 grand a year, for some reason I'd spunk through an extra 40 or 50, and yet having a 20 grand a year income would still just make, I don't know why, it just makes you spend money less. So you can never forget about, even if you kind of semi-retire or something, you've always got to have something, some kind of investment that's churning around for you, bringing in the daily dollar. And then you can fluctuate your life. Like let's say you're looking so many years ahead, and I've gone to broke three times I think it is now, and back up to, you know, whatever it is again. And now, even if I had like a fraction, let's see if I had half of what I had when I was 24, when I did well in the property market, I could actually live on that now. I know I could. I can actually teach people how to do it. And you can actually, like, you take the UK for example. You live in London, you can get really good food, for example, from Lidl, or you live in Germany, same thing. Or you can pay stupid prices at the supermarket, the normal supermarket. But it's pretty cool. A woman standing up and just going, "Hey, you, do this," with their tits flapping around. I just love it. Europe's so free. What are you looking at? Oh, there's someone behind the wall. All right. Anyways, I got sidetracked. You can live on the cheap anywhere. So I said years ago, like I lived in London, and I thought, fuck, I need to move somewhere near Hammersmith. I don't want to move in the city. I'm not allowed to move out a bit. And I thought Richmond would be perfect. Now Richmond, you're probably looking somewhere between 1,000 quid to maybe 3,000 quid a month, right? I got a place for £300 a month, not a week, a month. And I got my meals cooked for me and a dog sitter. It was amazing. This old lady had a house next to the Richmond Park. It's fucking awesome. So I could walk into town and be on the river and stuff and walk around the park with my dog. It has deer in the park. £300. You put the thought in your mind and you can actually, it sounds kind of arrogant, but it's kind of like that. You kind of ask the universe for something and you get it. Actually, what's his name again? I can They call him crazy, they call him socialist. His name is Jim Carrey, the mask. He says things like that about asking the universe. It's actually, from my, if I think back on it, the amount of times I've like say I've been single for a while, like, fuck, I just wouldn't mind a girlfriend. Well, you're asking God or the universe, I don't care, just apply to your own life as fit. But it usually happens. But it usually happens not the way you want it. It's like, I kind of asked for, let's take the girl scenario. Ask for a girl, you get one, she's awesome, you got major chemistry, but she's a crackhead. There's always a downside. So you got to kind of, it's like getting a genie in a bottle and saying, rub, give me, I want to have the best car in the world. You get the best car in the world, like, yeah, and it gets flattened by a big anvil, or I don't know, or some truck gets dropped in it. You only get to live it for a few seconds and never get to drive it. That's the kind of thing, like, the devil's wishes, Anyway, my point is, you can live very cheaply in this world. You can live like a king. I have no idea how people want to live in, the Bitcoin Roadshow you see a few months ago. I was in San Francisco, and I have no idea why people would pay stupid money when you could see how I don't know how much I showed in that thing, but I could live very cheaply in San Francisco, or I could live if I wanted to splurge money, I could splurge money. I stayed in some places in Vegas, for example, there were beautiful hotels, and then look at the Bellagio, how expensive that is, and that room looked nice, but you look at the one that I had next to, what's it called? It's across from the Hard Rock Cafe. It was Loft something. That was just as nice as far as I'm concerned. It had a big massive tub in it, had a fucking, kind of open plan bedroom. Actually, yeah, just the same size room. And that was like a third the price. So yeah, that's what I'm getting at, is you can, I think a lot of times people pay money because they want to show off, and often show off to people who don't actually matter in their lives, as that old saying goes. Spending money you don't have to impress people who don't care, or something along those lines. This cost me 600 quid to get out here, $600. And again, I sneaked into club class like I usually always. I'm getting to the stage now where every flight, it's a 50-50 chance whether I'll end up on first class or club, laid out flat. I've just become a bit of a pro at it. I'd like to show everyone how it's done, but the problem is I think that if I do that, and it's kind of selfish of me, I tell the odd person how it's done, but if I tell everyone, then you'll get the odd fucking retard who'll do it wrong, and then they'll say something like, oh sorry, I just saw it on YouTube, and before you know it, the gap will be cleaned up. But the thing I can tell you is this: don't try out on Japanese airlines, they're too efficient. Don't try out on Air New Zealand because they're too stingy, right? I would say that Canada might be the same actually, because Canadians are quite stingy. But I'm generalising, a lot of generous. I've got heaps of Canadian friends who are generous as fuck. But what I mean is, generally Canadians and Kiwis are quite stingy. Same as people say about Jews and Scots too. But in my, not because I'm born in Scotland, but from what I've seen, Scottish are actually quite generous. They're what you call frugal, and they're efficient. They're not really stingy. And the Jews, they give a lot of charity and everything like that. I'd say the stingier ones are more New Zealand than Canada. There's a saying, like, when you get to the bar in London when you first come over from New Zealand to do your overseas experience, they call it they say the Scottish haka, but it's really New Zealand haka. I haven't got money with me, because you're doing rounds, you're buying rounds in the pub, right? It's your round. When it comes to the Kiwis term, because they're the ones that give shit to other people, but they don't like people giving them shit. But the reality is, when a Kiwi goes to the bar, it generally is the case where they learn the culture in Britain, especially when they first get there and they have no money. They learn the culture is buying rounds, and when it comes to their round, they miraculously disappear, and yet have the audacity to say the Scottish haka, or the English haka, or the Canadian haka. They can't talk. Anyway, that's about it really. I just want to talk about the fact that things are just humming along on Bitcoin. It's bouncing between the band of around about $6,000 to let's say it went down to just below 6, but that was just a one-off resistance point break. It didn't really fall back further than that. It was basically on the $6,000 mark. I think it's really going to bounce between 6 and maybe 8 for a while. And this might be the life. It might carry on for as long as that stint between 2012 and 2017 went. That was pretty much, you had your people, I don't know, they kind of like bottom feeding traders in some way, just making your little margins here and there. That's not, I'm not going to fucking, look down on that. It's just, if it's a way that you can accumulate more coin, fucking do it. To me, any way that's accumulating coin that is having a person accumulating it, not an institution, to me is something good. The thing that really sucks is that people who actually have a decent amount, if you have, let's put a number on it. Actually, Charlie Shrem said this. If you have 10 Bitcoin, you're pretty safe. You know, see, you don't have to. That's why I don't go. If the times aren't that good and they're not like they're not like an obvious bull market where I'm going to make money. Well, I would trade, but this year because the IRS regulations changed and I decided to stop trading. I actually learned something that actually is probably a good thing that I stopped trading for a while, because it's what's the point in struggling and having to look at the screen all the time and, you know, spending hours where during a bull market you could make all that money in such a short space of time, dedicating the same or less time to do so. It just seems like a no-brainer. Just as long as you can afford it, as I say, have other money coming in here and there. Or have enough to sell a little Bitcoin. Like, I mean, last year in Colorado, I was paying rent in Bitcoin. So just live your life differently. Adapt and adjust to the way that life can be run while the market's in a let's say, either a volatile state or in a bull market. You got to kind of just adapt to cope with it. Don't put all your eggs in one basket and think that you have to. I see people getting angry at Bitcoin, like, it's not coming up again, like the Mike Novogratz thing that I was talking about before, that the crypto sniper was on about. You know, it's so true. It looks like a spoilt child who didn't get the Christmas present he asked for. It's like, fuck off. Go back into the old market then, you know? As I say, I'm not here just to make money. I'm here to be part of a new economy. I'm here to usher it in. I'm here to help people. You know, like one of the companies I work for, the blockchain company Pryvate, they don't just have solutions for we've got enterprise solutions as well, but that's not just for businesses. It's mostly, well, actually the area I think we're moving into, which I'm trying to get more of a push on, is free services, and we might make money on some stuff like trading, but a lot lower than the competition are doing. And the same as the fiat currency stuff, you know, the fiat to crypto exchange. You don't have to make a killing profit like these other companies are making. You just make a good profit and you become the name. I'd rather become the worldwide name in something that's making a 0.5% profit or even a 0.1% profit than being a small player who doesn't change the world making 10%. They're not the ones. They're in it for themselves. That's the selfish businesses. You know, like even Gemini. Look at the Winklevoss twins. Those motherfuckers got. I mean, I kind of respect them in some ways, and I really. Especially the fact that, you know, Zuckerberg stole their idea off them and blatantly did. What I don't like is the fact that they've got so much fucking money, and they obviously made so much from you imagine the gains they made putting the money into Bitcoin. They'll have billions and billions of dollars now from that settlement they had in court. But at the same time, why do they have to charge 7%? I think it's 7% on the Gemini platform. Why? There's no fucking excuse. They have enough liquidity just themselves to be charging anything they want at a profit margin, and they can always buy it back again too, but you know, by having fiat, wait for the dip, buy it back, so they can always replenish their. The fact is they have their own liquidity. I just think that's fucking greed, man, and it's not helping adoption worldwide. Fuck them, fuck you all, not you, them. Fuck it, fuck you too, fuck me, fuck everyone. Yeah, I think that the blockchain economy was meant for benevolence and empowerment of the common man, dissolution, or what do you call it when you get rid of, it's 12, sorry, no, too young. It's not 12, I'm just kidding, exaggerating. Yeah, it's more like an economy for people who actually want to help each other, who don't need to rely on the big machines that we can see are corrupt. They don't really add value. They used to add value when we needed a structure in place to give us a taxation system and do all these things. But we really, especially with technology moving forward, you're going to get to the stage you don't need roading anymore. You don't need this and that. Actually, the only reason you need roading right now is because these fucking assholes are keeping things in place, like they're not giving us flying cars or the ability to use them because they've got their own regulations. We have computing power that allows us not to crash into each other now, but these cunts won't let us, you know, utilize that because they're in control. They're our masters, and that's where society went wrong. These fuckers have got to the stage where they really believe that they own us and they rule us, and that is effectively what we've got as a hegemony. Or we have it's a feudal system. That's what it is. On that note, I might end it here because now I'm just starting to waffle on. That beautiful building up there. So separated into 3 apartments. I need to find a place to live around here. I'm staying at my friend's place at the moment. Anyway, this is the Bitcoin Roadshow. You've been you, I've been me. Let's all be us.